Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Cododger here. Welcome back to Formula 1 2018 for our Haas career as we move into Circuit de Villeneuve in Canada. My favorite race of the season. We come off of a pretty successful venture through Monaco. Usually I go to Canada looking for vengeance, but today we're just looking to do the work. I think this is one of those races we are expected to win. And this is a big reason for that. Huge strides in our car R&D. If Magnussen isn't performing now, Magnussen isn't going to perform. This is the biggest margin I've seen at the top of the field, basically since the beginning of season number 1. So, in my mind, there's not a whole lot of reason that our team shouldn't be performing at its very best right now. The only caveat to that is we have probably the worst engine package of the entire front of the field. So that's the only thing that might be holding us back a little bit at Canada, but I still look to be performing very well here as we head into Q1. There is some threat of rain in qualifying, so we may have to cover all of qualifying today, but hopefully it's not a big deal. Alright, well, the only thing that I said could dampen our spirits today, and dampen our spirits, is the rain. It is Q1 and it is indeed raining. The forecast shows at least 10 minutes so far of rain, but I've been fooled before. So I want to see the full forecast before I go making any calls on what to do here. Yes. By 20 minutes, light or no rain. So the only option here is to wait until the absolute last second of Q1, see if the track dries out, and try to do a lap when the track is the absolute best. It looks like it's going to dry up from there, so it's up to me to make that call. I'll just be sitting here.
Intermediate tires are your best bet in the current conditions.
I'll just be sitting here watching the tire delta to see if it improves. If it drops from 6 seconds, then I know it's getting better. No improvement yet, but I think we're getting close. It still says it's raining. This is a very short track, so I can go out within 2 minutes of time remaining and still have time to do a lap. Oh, and here it goes. You can see it's happening. The delta is dropping by the second, so I'm going to wait these 2 minutes and see if it gets good enough. And here we go. It has flipped the other way. The dry tire is the tire to be on, so I'm going to put on some Hypersofts, and I'm going to go to track on what is still going to be a damp track. It's not going to be perfect, the times are still dropping, but this should be the right tire at the right time, and we should be out here on track at the point at which the track is getting to be its best. There's a lot of ifs in there, and boy, I did cut this pretty close. But that's what you gotta do. You gotta cut it close, or you'll be out there when the track isn't at its best. Looks like we'll have about 10 seconds to spare. Nicely done. That is still a lot of pressure. It's a one-shot deal here.
3 minutes to go.
I'm sorry, 3 minutes to go? Are they saying I have 3 minutes to complete this lap? I guess that's what they're saying. I don't usually do this where I'm out on track during the checkered flag. 3 DRS zones here. Make sure we use all of them. Make sure you use all the curves as well. One decision I have made. Oh, that's a bit wide. Luckily, that turn, one of those turns, there's about a dozen different ways to get through, and it doesn't cost you too much time. But one decision I did make is that I haven't put the new engine in yet. I'm going to wait for the race to do that, to keep miles off of this engine, as I don't want it to be an issue later in the season. We'll see if we regret that or not. Wow, did you see that hang up? Well, hopefully that didn't cost us too much. Third, okay, no, we're good, but geez, that's not encouraging. Now out on track for a beautiful day in Q2. Should be a perfect track at this point. We're going to be aiming for somewhere in the 9s. That's the target time for the day. I have definitely got a setup that is a little bit sacrificed in sectors 1 and 2. I figured he would let me go there. And then ultimately set up for sector 3, because I'm just tired of having the car that is really good in the slow sections that you can't pass anybody, and then slow in the sections where you can pass and be passed. So it's a little risky. Yep, because the car isn't perfect for these chicanes. It's not perfect in the middle sector at all. But then, as we head down this very long back straightaway, the car is an absolute rocket. And then it gets through the slow chicane very well also. Keep in mind, our big upgrade that we have on the car this week is a tire wear upgrade, so we'll get to see if that has made any big effect. I think this is probably going to be in the high 10s. Yep.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
I guess that's actually a low 10. You know what I mean. I think that should still be good enough. The 9s were reserved pretty much for the top 3. Should be good enough. Certainly a lot more I could get out of the car, though. You know, I felt really comfortable, actually, with my time. But 7 cars dipped down into the 9s in Q2, so we cut it a little close there, to be honest. I am quite surprised. I have got to improve in Q3. And really nice times there from Perez to get up there into P6. I guess that's Canada for you. Alright, here we go, Q3. It's time to earn my keep and see what we can do with this car. I really nail a lap down, and I'm hoping Magnussen's going to do the same. I don't want to feel like a fool for not putting the new ICE in before qualifying. I just didn't think it was going to be that much of an issue. That was nice. Oh, I double clicked. That was a stupid mistake. That probably cost us a 10th. That was real close to the wall. May have actually brushed it. I'm pushing the car. This is not easy mode. Just because I love this track and just because we have a fast car doesn't mean that it's easy. I have a feeling the times are going to get into the 8s. Today, I just killed a brake marker sign, I believe. 7, 8, 9, 9-2. Fastest lap so far.
That was the fastest lap.
But we need to find more. I'm going to go out for another run. Because there's definitely more in it, and I think times are going to drop. Alright, here we go, everybody. Deep breath. Give it everything we got. Still sitting on top, but everybody's just coming out with the final runs now. Hopefully nobody comes out right in front of me. Hurts our lap. A little bit understeer there, but not too much. A lot of understeer right there, actually. That might be too much to overcome to really improve this lap. Much better run out of here, though. Some time dropped there. Much better run out of here as well. It'll be a close time. Try and egg out that turn a bit more. Get a better run down the straightaway that way. It's not better so far. It'd have to be an amazing last chicane to gain time. and it wasn't amazing. Too much curve, it hopped and scooted all over the place. Probably put too much pressure on myself there, because I feel like I overdrove it and it made some stupid mistakes. We'll see where it stacks up, but I think we're probably going to drop down to maybe 4th or 5th after all is said and done. Maybe worse. Maybe better. We'll see.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles an hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions. And watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and the final chicane. We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Red, Kevin Magnussen, and Raikkonen, Perez, Vettel, Verstappen, and Fernando Alonso. Leclerc, Hülkenberg, Lance Stroll, and Ericsson, Ocon, Van Dorn, Carlos Sainz, and Brendan Hartley. Sirotkin and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid.
Alright, well, no message from Jeff as I waited for him to say something. So 4th and 5th for Haas to start this race. I definitely regret not taking the new engine. I think that was maybe not the factor. It certainly wasn't a perfect lap. But not having that little bit of extra power is what made me push so hard, and probably push too hard to have missed out on a potential pole today. But starting P4 is still okay. We got 35 laps to try and undo that damage. I'm a little bit concerned about people trying one-stopping in this race. However, the tire speed differential is huge. The supers are just astronomically slower around this track, so there's really no reason to run that tire. And I don't see people from the front half of the grid doing a one-stop. So this should be okay. This should be okay. You can see that our tire wear won't be anywhere near critical levels, so we should have a comfortable race. And with the upgrades to the car, we actually increased our fuel efficiency as well, so I don't have to put as much fuel in. Okay, enough babbling. Let's get racing. I do apologize. This will be a regular 50% race. I know some people wanted to do 100 here in Canada. Unfortunately, I am not at like 100% health. Not going to go into gory details there, but certainly not in the position to push myself for 100% right now. We'll have to do that later in the season when hopefully I'm feeling better. And, well, you know what would make me feel better? A good race in Canada. Alright, here we go. We're starting on the right side of the track, which is not great. Ooh, quick lights. There's just not a lot of room for us here. Magnussen got a bad start. Hamilton got a bad start. Oh, this is messy. I got cars to the right of me. Should be able to accelerate out of here well, though. Bottas getting away well. Don't worry about the wall there. It's good to show that wall who's boss. You gotta assert your dominance over the concrete. You don't want the concrete to think it's better than you. And let's go into rich mix. This is where our car should be its best, is on this back straightaway. And now that I have a fresh engine in here, it should be even better. So let's see what it can do. Oh yeah, it's closing. No room for me here, but Hamilton got a terrible exit. That made a big gap to the cars in front of us. But we got that move done, I think. He's going to try for the over-under there, but doing everything I can to block it. Alright, that was good. A bit too much grass right there. Just a little bit too much grass. I'm really pushing here. I don't want to lose these guys in this first stint. I want to keep this close. I want this race. I want this win. I don't want a podium. I want to win. I gotta try not to do what I did in Q3 though and just overdrive it. Trying to keep within DRS range once it's active. I have to back off on the battery power here though.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
That is encouraging, and here is DRS now. Right, try not to use quite as much curb in the second half of this. There we go, much better. It's a much more comfortable line. It's probably the turn car is the worst at. See it jump out on me there. Real scary when it does that.
We're accumulating some wear on the MGUK.
Yeah, it's the only thing I haven't replaced.
We need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
We only get 2 of those per season. The only parts I changed were the parts that we get 3 of per season. I am not at all going to be worried about that right now, though. This should be a simple move. So simple. Did you notice how simple that was? It was incredibly simple. Totally.
We're leading our teammate by 6.5 seconds.
Totally drama-free, in fact. I need some new pants. I thought we were going headfirst into World Champions there, to be honest. It was so crossed up over the curb. Alright, now we're still within his DRS range, so we gotta defend for a moment. If we can't clear him. The rear tires are definitely feeling a little bit worse for wear. These tires don't have to go terribly long. Which is good, because I don't think they're going to go terribly long. Luckily, this thing just flies down the straightaway. So his DRS is no match for it. I think these next few laps are going to be tricky for me as these tires start to go. In a car that's set up to be really low downforce. Once you start to lose that mechanical grip, there's just no aero really pushing the thing into the ground to keep it going in the right direction. I'm also using a pretty heavy rear brake bias because I need it to get the car down into the turns well. Really pays off down here. I don't like that Botas is kind of getting away from us, or is at least keeping that gap. And I'm not leaving Danny Rick like I'd like to. Fourth gear over the curbs is the safer way to be there. I'm still being real aggressive with the curbs, but it's going to be an aggressive race.
Window, you'll be on the ultra softs.
I'd like to know what that gap is doing. Visually, it's kind of hard to tell right now. Oh, that was beautiful, though. Alright, I think I'm getting the nerves worked out. I really kind of got myself worked up about this race. A lot of pressure seeing that bar show that we have the fastest car now, because now it's like I'm expecting to be the fastest. Like, instead of thinking, you know, maybe there is a chance we could be the fastest, now I go to the race, I'm thinking, all right, the pressure's on to me. We have no excuse, nothing to fall back on.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Well, it's already past that lap.
Got that confirmed.
So I think we're going to stick with what we had. And we are still definitely closing on Bottas, so I don't see a reason to short pit. The last thing I want is to fall in the traffic. Magnussen has not done so great at the start here. We have DRS here? Not quite. We are not shaking that Red Bull, though. It's going to be a 3-car race for the lead. Come on up out of there. Doing very good with fuel. I'm going to use a little bit here to try and build a gap as we head to our last lap of the run. He's pitting this lap. I bet you they both will. No, just one. Alright, well, it's just going to be up to me to have a really good in-lap here then.
Boxing this lap. Give us the best in-lap you can.
I probably should have hit it at the last second there. I just was worried they wouldn't be ready for me. I don't think the tires have gone off terribly anyways. It's still going a pretty good speed. And now I got nice clean air in front of me. Not really any pressure from behind. I don't think pitting later than him is going to be an advantage, but I don't think he's going to get a massive undercut on me either.
Don't forget, box this lap.
We have a good stop. Every time I do that, it's going to take at least a year off my lifespan, so we're definitely already 2 years down on that lifespan at this point. It's a Canada thing. Okay. We got some people that haven't pit yet.
Release, release.
I see Hamilton on track. He's actually pretty close to Verstappen. And then this pit exit's weird. I meant Bottas, not actually Hamilton. Side by side. We have them, but our tires are not up to temperature yet. So this is interesting. He's on DRS right now. I'm surprised he didn't go for it right there. He'll definitely go for it on the back straightaway. At this juncture, I don't know that it makes sense for me to defend it. Oh, Bottas went for another set of hypers. Hyper, ultra, I presume. Interesting. I didn't have another set to use to do that, unfortunately. Unless he's not on new, which would be weird. Magnussen pit really late here.
Kevin is in the pits.
I'm going to overdrive it. Boy, it's going to be very hard to hold them off. Not that there's a huge separation between the tires, but there's at least half a second in it. And you can just pull off a lot of crazy late braking with that little bit more grip in the tires. This is where we'll see if this low aero chance will pay off or not. Because I took a risk going for that straightaway speed. It looks like it's paying off right now. Happy with that. He must have gotten held in traffic a little bit or something to have actually lost time to us in that sequence. I don't see how else that would have happened. Car's really in its own right now. Alright, that's 3 years. Keep this up, I'll be dead by the end of this race. Alright, it was pretty close this time around. Pretty close. Any last second move? Didn't go for it. I'm surprised. Got another run here. He's not going for it. Out of there. That's one of the places he could have more grip than me. I feel like the Red Bull of Ricardo is closing back in. Who is also on my strategy, by the way. Not on the dual hyper run. So that'll be interesting as we close in towards the end. I've somewhat missed the chicane. Luckily there was nowhere for him to go. He's got to run down through here though. Oh, lost the back end a bit out of there. I'm not going to have a great run down the straightaway. Nah, I can't defend this. Well, let's get back in the draft. Not quite. Well, let's wait for his tires to maybe equal out to us. I feel like I was probably overdriving a little bit, trying to keep up with these differing tire conditions. He did pit a lap earlier too, so they're going to go pretty quick. Comparatively. We got DRS here. It's not a super useful DRS zone, but it just keeps you close. Maybe you can make a move down here, thanks to being closer. Possibly a pass-back opportunity right here. Boy, he did not want to concede that position.
Nice move. Good job.
Thanks, Jeff. Oh yeah, it's 3 cars under a blanket now. What we need to hope is that Daniel will try to take the fight to Bottas here. That would give us a break. but I don't know that that will happen. The Mercedes must have a lot of motor, because they've not really been the best car this season, and then all of a sudden, really quick here. Leads you to believe that there's probably some kind of offset in their development. That is data I could look at, and I probably have, I just can't remember while trying to drive the car. That's the nose of it there. I got called out last week at Monaco for not focusing enough. I gotta be honest with you. This is the absolute maximum of my mental capacity. Doing commentary and racing in these cars that are this fast.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
While dealing with ERS and DRS and Jeff's strategies. It's a lot to deal with.
Okay, copy that.
I'm gonna stick with the standard strategy. We got a car out of the race. Do I have lapses in judgment sometimes? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do. Do I miss apexes because I'm not focused enough sometimes? Absolutely, that happens.
Yellow flag.
But it's just part of the deal. I think they pit early, thinking that there was going to be a safety car here. He's in a pretty precarious position, actually.
Okay, clear.
But no, yeah, that's... To me, as the person making this, my opinion is skewed, but the appeal to this series is the fact that I try to juggle all of that at the same time. If it were just me focusing on driving and not doing commentary, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. Even for me to do, like, it wouldn't be as interesting for me to make these any other way. Is he gonna pit this lap? I mean, we still have a ways to go before we pit, so we definitely will have to worry about an undercut this time around. The car is honestly not working quite as well on these tires. Not as well as I had hoped it would. I think I pushed it too hard early in the run, too. Trying to keep up with Bottas. That was a nice first sector, though. Holy cow. Yeah, that better be purple. Hello, hang-ups. Don't forget about those. Add that to the list of things I'm trying to focus on. Canada seems really bad for him for some reason. It's probably all the weed. It is pretty hazy out. Purple sector 2 as well. Let's go into the rich mix. Try to defend from DRS. I think I'm pretty clear of him though. Red Bull seems like it's a little slow on the straightaways. Honest. Without DRS, I don't think we'll have a fastest lap here, nope.
Gap to teammate behind is 29.5 seconds.
Magnussen, what the hell are you doing? I don't understand why he's struggling so much all of a sudden. Car should be an absolute rocket for the third run. I'm going to be low on fuel, new tires for a short stint. Should be really good. I just don't know where we're going to come out in the mix compared to Bottas. That will be interesting to see. Again, depends on if he's in traffic or not. We don't know what's going on back there. It's nice not having to defend down the straightaways, though. I am very pleased with that decision. Good job, Engineer Cone. Wall of Champions is over there. I wanted to give you all a closer view in case you, maybe you forgot what it looked like.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the ultra softs.
Okay, we're going really long in this run. You don't think he went for supers? I really think he may have. Hyper super? Rear lock up there. Just a touch. Yeah, if he did that, then that changes a lot of the race. It means, yeah, sure, he may have undercut us, but we would be way faster than him for that last stint. I think my rear tires are getting a little bit worn. Oh, it is so lucky this car can get away on the straightaways. Well, not purely lucky. It's a good thing I made that decision. Give myself a little credit here. Sacrificed some aero for some speed. That's a little closer than I would like to be. Hello. That's what we call bold. I just slam the brakes in the middle of the turn there to keep off of him.
We lost the position. Tried to keep focus.
We'll have no problems getting that position back. Well, I did not get a very good exit there. I bet you by the end of the straightaway. Oh man, look at the speed difference. This is not helping our fight with Bottas at all.
In this lap, push now.
Had to keep him to the inside there. Yeah, this is playing right into Bottas' favor. But holy shit, is it fun.
Okay, the update on the car for you. Tyres looking very nice. Shouldn't have to worry about the wear too much right now.
Good thing we're pitting this lap then. Alright, I will remember. Oh, you can see Bottas on the map. Let's just see what tire he's on, what strategy he's on. Try not to slam it into pit road quite so hard this time. Ricciardo stays out another lap. Oh, that is good for us, I think. There goes Hamilton. Yes, Hamilton. There's Bottas.
Exit now.
There's Bottas. Gonna be very close once again.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Wait a damn second. Bottas is on another set of hypers. How many stops are you doing, my dude? I guess he's doing a 3-stopper? Because he's got to get another compound on there. Alright, well, our battle's with Ricciardo. I I could let Bottas go here. This battle does not matter, basically. Because we are done pitting. And he is not. Unless he just plans to get a penalty. Which, at the end of the day, still doesn't matter to us. How bizarre. How many hypers did you save for the race? And his hypers are already not very good at this point. Really interesting. Oh yeah, this... we should be well clear of Ricardo. Yep.
Kevin is in for his stop.
A little bit late right there. I'm tempted to just let Bottas go here because in my mind he's not racing us. Like he is still 15 seconds behind us in the grand scheme of the race. So why bother? Why bother pushing and trying to stay ahead of him? I guess the only problem is Danny Rick is right there with him. There he goes. That was upsetting. Him pitting right at that moment. Dan was on DRS there. I couldn't attack back. Alright, we got over 10 laps to settle this. I do think we have the better car here. As long as I don't overdrive it. Use DRS to save some battery. I still have fuel to use. We have such a good car in a straight line that we should have an easy time passing him as long as we stay close. Although he is in full tilt right now.
The gap behind us is 5.5 seconds.
Oh man, did you see him rocket out of there? He's definitely full power mode at the moment. Even that's not going to be enough, though, to skate away from us, I don't think. Fastest lap of the day.
We're leading our teammate by 26.6 seconds.
No mistakes. No mistakes. Stay right up here with him. Avoid running up the back of him. Into rich mix. That closing rate. Kinda had to take it there. I don't like to pass that uncleanly, but it's getting serious here. Magnussen's out of the race. Alright, you know what? That's fine. I'll just score this team's entire points. That's cool. This battle is far from over. I think it's gonna change back and forth a few more times.
Kevin is out of the race.
Saw that. Thank you for the update. bold. I believe there was a stamp that became moist in that moment. Hey, Magnuson, that's a scary place for you to be.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again.
I don't even need rich mix here because I got such a run. This time we actually cleared him before the chicane.
Nice work. That brings you up a place.
Just up a place, huh? Which place would that be there, Jeff? Keeping track of that? Or is that not important to you? Let's clean first sector. I can't match his sector 1. He set a really fast sector 1 there. First lap out. That I cannot answer at the moment. It's a little close. Try and get away a little bit here. Nice. Oh, that was beautiful. That was the perfect lap right there.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
But he's still here. That was not enough to completely get away. Had to chase it a bit right there. Do a bit of battery management. Probably the most ERS management I've ever had to do in one of these races. At least with a battle this close. I'm so glad this thing can get away on the straightaway. I would be in so much trouble otherwise. The tires are still in fine shape. They lose that edge that they have in the beginning of the run where you can really just wildly push the car. I did finally match his sector one time though. However, I think he did even better. Watch for this crazy move here. We're all good. Hamilton's not out of this either. He's just kind of lurking back there. It's alright, I'm calling out lurkers. About the closest he's hung with me through there in a while. Gotta watch them down into turn one. They will hook you right into the wall if you're not watching as the lines converge. At least I haven't taken any years off my life in a while. I'm getting low on the battery charge now. If he gets really close, I may have to just let him have the position and just recharge on things for a minute. As risky as that sounds, it may be a necessary thing.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
I do have a little bit of fuel to use yet. Go into full recharging mode here for a minute. In this section where it's hard for him to pass. Yeah, that's a good idea. Didn't even affect my time. Kick it up here, where he closes in. Get out of the grass, you fool. I don't think I want to go into 3. I got a really good run out of the hairpin. We should be okay. Yep. And I'm hoping he's running out of fuel and battery as well. When he gets DRS to save that. Trying to keep the car very comfortable. In the places where he can't pass, there's no reason to push too hard. I pushed into a mistake. We're getting better on the charge now. Been very effective. That might be the difference as the end of the race approaches. We're actually gaining fuel as well. Oh, here comes a move. Oh, he looked, but he didn't quite get there. He did not quite get there. We're up to 60% at the end of the charging period, so we're doing pretty good on battery. I think I just clipped the sign with my wing. It was a little disorienting. It was not a sound I was expecting to hear. I want to move those a little further away from the track. Just seeing that arrow behind me makes me so nervous.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Frankly, I'm getting tired of seeing it. Boy, does he ever get a run down through here. How? How did he get that car slowed down? And he chopped me off at the end. Left 0 room, and he got DRS. That's right. Was able to pull up, Nick. Oh, man. He missed the turn. Had to slam on the brakes. I think I just audibly gasped there. Well, this is now a 3-car race, thanks to all that. Okay. We have so much fuel to use. We're good on battery power. We're in good shape still. This should be an easy move down the back straightaway. As long as Hamilton doesn't mess with us. Oh, he tried to get in there, I think. full power, down into the draft. Yeah, this should be sailing of a move. I overdid it. I overdid it.
Nice move.
No, it was an awful move, Jeff.
Final lap of the race.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, he's getting away. No. No, this is a nightmare. Hamilton, why? Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh, I am...
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
How is he pulling away?
Brilliant job, mate. That's a fantastic podium. Super driving, really strong pace. Very, very happy.
That might be the most heartbroken I've ever been.
Red Bull team today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs.
Oh, shut up.
And I can see now the drivers are making their way out. We need Red Bull fighting at the front. They do an incredible amount for Formula One. And that's another winner's trophy heading back to Milton Keynes. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Well, the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that today.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
That's, possibly one of the worst races I've ever driven. Oh, I am just absolutely heartbroken right now. Just that little mistake of overdriving into the chicane and not being able to get down to the gas, and then really it all boiled down to letting Hamilton through. If I hadn't let Hamilton through, I could have still won that race. Letting Hamilton through and then getting boxed in behind him as he was all screwy and off the pace ruined any chance I had. I hope it was at least entertaining. I need to go have a lie down now. Oh, what even happened at the start? It's pretty wild, wasn't it? Oh yeah, the two Mercedes going after each other. Woo, that got close. Pretty sensible so far. Nice to see the game hangs in the replays as well. Nothing too crazy really. It was a pretty standard start. It didn't get too crazy till the end, I suppose. Oh, it's hanging up all over the place. I hope I'm not like out of hard drive space or something. Although honestly, if this footage was lost, I would not be terribly upset. Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. Ah, the Cone Dodger story. Yeah, I thought about making a move there, but I didn't. Alright, well. There we go. That's where things started to get dicey. That was Canada. Ooh, that was aggressive on my part. Yikes. I got some work to do. That was a should have easily won kind of race, I think. I let myself down in qualifying, didn't use the new engine, and in the race, just too many stupid little mistakes. I mean, I'm not used to quite handling that much pressure for an entire race, but obviously I need to handle it better. And we'll try to do that next time. Thank you as always for watching. Holy cow.